Hello and welcome to this video, which I hope to be one in a series of videos looking at purchasing cars at auction, fixing them, selling them on, looking at what sort of profit you can make, and just really working up uh, from a cheap car and then gradually buying more expensive cars. This is the email the day before the auction. So you can see here I'm looking at a number of cars ranging in prices. I did set myself an aim of buying something and fixing it for less than £2,000 as my first purchase at auction. A lot of these cars will cost more than that, or they at least will go for more than that at auction. This is the car that I won at auction. It's a Volkswagen Polo 2010 1.6 diesel. It has, I think, about 70,000 miles. It is a category S, and I am hoping that the category S is purely because there's a bit of damage on the sill next to the door. You can see that the doors are damaged, but they are not in very bad condition. I don't think there's going to be any damage to the pillar. The sill is a bit pushed in. Um, I'm hoping I can just pull this out without having to cut anything and weld it back in. It doesn't look too extensive. Um, and even if I don't get to fix it, I don't think it's going to have any impact on the car. My plan is to change the doors, hopefully find some in the correct color, and that's it really. Try and fix the seal if I can. I've received the car a few days ago, and all I've done since then is clean all the markings from the auction, just to give me a better view of the damage. You can see here the ink left over from the structural bit of the door. The panel itself is not structural. Also looking at the sill, it is bent like I expected, but it's not too bad. I think some paintless dent remover will probably fix it. If not, I don't think it's going to have any impact on the car. I've also removed the door trim and used a piece of wood to try and push the panel out a little bit so it doesn't look that bad. The reason I've done that is because I can't find doors in this color. So while I look for doors, I'm probably going to drive it around as it is once I have the V5 and MOT and tax and everything. What I want to do now that the car is home is just do a full service on it. So I've got oil filter, fuel filter. This is the cabin filter and an air filter. So I'll be changing these in this video and making sure the car is running well. The problem with buying at auction is that you don't have any service history, you don't have a V5 document with your car, so you don't really know how well it's been maintained. So it's good to do a full service on it. As you all probably know, the drain plug is just underneath the car, so I had to remove the guard, the plastic guard, to get to the plug. I've removed the drain plug, the oil is draining now, and I'm just removing the oil filler cap as well to allow air to get in so that it drains a little bit quicker. I did pick the windiest day of the year to do this, so you can hear a lot of wind in the background. What I'm doing here is trying to remove the oil filter. Now I don't have the right socket for that, so I'm trying to do it with a wrench, adjustable wrench, which is big and clunky, so I'm really struggling to get to it properly. I'm speeding up through this part of the video just because it took me so long to take it out because of the lack of proper tools. But it just shows that you can do this job with whatever tools you have at your disposal. I'm gonna move on and do the air filter next, and I apologize for the lighting, but I've had to move in the garage because it is really windy outside. It was really challenging doing the oil change yesterday. So in order to do the air filter, I'm gonna have to disconnect this mass airflow sensor. So I've disconnected the battery before doing that because I don't want it to show any fault codes from disconnecting that. Now that I'm putting them back, I'm not going to use the impact gun. I'm just going to use a screwdriver because I don't want to break any of the threads because this is plastic. The biggest danger when you're doing this is dropping any of the screws in the engine bay, especially the ones behind there. It's very difficult to get to them, so if you lose one, you'll have a good time trying to dig it back out. So that's the air filter done. This clip is back on. Mass airflow sensor reconnected. I'll leave the battery disconnected. I'm gonna do the fuel filter next. So the fuel filter should be fairly straightforward. You push out 3 tabs and then you lift it out. It might make a little bit of a mess because there's still fuel in these pipelines. That's why I lifted it up a little bit so that the fuel can just drain down rather than leaking all over the place. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of fuel leaking out. I'm not quite sure what this does, but I'm just going to move it over just in case it's needed for something. And that's done. Now to the last and easiest thing on the list is the cabin filter. And there are two clips here. They are to the side, and what you have to do is basically push them towards the middle, and that lets this drop out, and then the filter is in here. Out with the old and in with the new. So you can see it has some arrows showing the direction of the air, so it should be facing that way. I finished servicing the car now. I found doors in the right color on eBay. They should be here in the next couple of days, and then I'll carry on taking these doors off and fitting the new ones. So join me in the next video where we'll hopefully finish the car.